Have you ever been caught out when you've been playing something because you've run out of fingers? It's very important to think about your hand position and your actual fingering technique. There's always the idea of one finger per fret, but don't forget also that sometimes you have to move your hand. Here's a chromatic bass run. Notice that I started with my fingers in that position. Here's another one. On this occasion I started with my second finger and I moved my hand. Always think about the way you're going to finger what you're going to do. Have you ever heard this sound? What am I doing? Well, actually I'm treating the nut as if it's not there. A lot of country players start thinking of the nut, the scale length of the guitar is starting there, and that's what they do. So think about that if you want to get that particular sound. This is the 0 fret sound. On an acoustic guitar, bending strings is not as easy as on an electric. I mean, you can get certain techniques. These are fairly heavy gauge strings, which I prefer. You can get a quarter gauge bend, but anything else you have to think about some other way of doing it. So always think in terms, if you want a full bend, then you're actually going for the next note up, like this. Like this. If you need to bend up, I can't get there. So I'm actually hitting the next tone up.
Here's a minor major chord. This is the minor 9. With a major in it, so it's actually the minor major 9, which means a minor chord, but it's got a major 7th in it. Rather than talk about it, you'll know this sound. Yeah, sort of shaken, not stirred sound. It comes up in several famous tunes, and it's the second chord in Stairway to Heaven. And it's important to get the right voicing, and here's the voicing. So you've got a little half barré or half bar on fret 5. Fret 6 on the D string, little finger, or if you've got long fingers, maybe the third finger on fret 7 on your top string, and you get this voicing. It's a bit cloudy like that, it's a jazz chord, but if it's picked, there it is. So after your A minor, the minor major chord. Sometimes playing individual notes and picking them all is not quite good enough for the right sound. It's not fluent enough. So if I do this, it's much more fluent, more slick if I hammer the middle note. So I'm playing the first open string and then using only the fretting hand to get the second note. And this enables me to play perhaps a little bit faster than I normally can. So it would be very difficult to pick that quickly and that slickly. So here are a few little hammers. Here's a hammer and a pull-off rather, and then a hammer and a pull-off. It can also be used, that's a sort of riffy way of doing it, can also be used a little bit higher up for more bluesy sort of things, kind of thing John Lee Hooker might have done, or Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I'm pulling off half of those notes really. I'm not picking all the notes. Just makes it sound a bit slicker.